Hi and welcome to video 5. This is me showing you how to use the Octatrack 2 in the most basic of ways if you are a beginner. In video 4 I ran into a major problem because I hadn't realised that the drum loop that I was using was at the sample rate of 48 kilohertz and not 44.1. The Octatrack prefers samples that are at 44.1. And if you don't understand sample rates, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can put samples of 48k in this machine, as I demonstrated in the last video, but you're going to have problems with tempo and pitch. So basically, if you've got a sample that's 48k, you need to change it to 44.1 using something like Logic. I've got a program called Sampleism on my Mac where I keep all my samples and I can export a 48k sample as a 44.1. So I won't be making that mistake again. I must admit, in the video I was kind of blaming the Octatrack. I thought that it had misread the original tempo of the loop and had changed it, and basically it hadn't. It wasn't the Octatrack's fault, so late last night I was busily editing video 4 to get rid of that bit where I was complaining about the Octatrack. So it was my user error. I mean, to be fair to me, the sample that I used, the drum loop that I used, was on the card that I got in the machine when I bought it used, so I naturally assumed that all those samples were fine for use with the machine, but I was wrong about that. Never mind. I was able to use the same slot for the complete drum loop on track 4 and the slices on tracks 1 and 3 because track 4 source was set to slice off and tracks 1 and 3 had the slice switch set to go on. So if I just show you that, and if I show you track 4 and I double tap source, you can see the slice is off. So therefore you'll hear the whole of the drum loop on that track. But if I go to track 1 and do the same thing, see the slice is on, the black is over on the right. Track 2, same thing. Track 3, same thing. So remember, tracks 1, 2 and 3 were sliced up parts of that drum loop. We had the kick drum on track 1, the snare drum on track 2, and we had a ride cymbal on track 3. And track 4, I'll just show you that, was the slice off because that was the entire loop. Now with track 6, if I just double tap that, you'll see that I've loaded in the same Rhodes loop that I loaded in for track 5. There's track 5, there's track 6. Now probably I didn't need to do that in retrospect. I probably could have used the same sample because, like the drums, one is going to be playing the sample in full, the whole loop in full, and one is going to be playing it sliced up. But anyway, I've already done that and I've added some slices to the Rhodes sample, so I'm going to show you that now. So the entire loop of the Rhodes is running on track 5, and it sounds a bit strange because it's stretched, but that's fine. So on track 6, this one here, you'll know if it's muted because it glows bright green. So if I click that now, it's in focus and it's unmuted. Now I've already gone ahead and sliced this up and recorded some of those slices into the machine just to save our time a bit today. So if I double tap this, so I'm on this track 6, if I go to AED and I'm on slice, I've got the trig mode set to slices, which is good. So I can play the various slices that I've made on here. If I go to AED, slice is showing, the amp button is pressed. So we can hear our 5 slices that I've made. By the way, they're panned to the left because I've panned the main complete loop to the right of it. You'll see as I play these slices, they'll change in the display. So slice 1, slice 2, you can see S2 there momentarily, slice 3, 4, 5. So I've got a long one there, long one there, long one there, practically the same as 1, and then these 2 are short. So if I solo this track by pressing Mix, Q and 6, you'll hear what I've recorded. And I'll put the other main loop in with it, which is panned the other way. And the whole thing. Right from the beginning, so the drum loop kicks in. In the previous video, I wasn't able to show this slices mode because I didn't have any slices, but here we can see that. If I go to track 1, those are my slices of the drum loop. Good stuff. When I recorded track 6, the sliced up Rhodes loop, I turned the time stretching off. If I just go to this, go to attributes, you'll see time stretches off because it's not important if it plays in time because I'm playing tiny little slices of the loop. The other thing I did, which is quite nice, on the 4th bar, if I just hold trig 7 down, you'll see that I changed the rate to -64, so that meant that this was reversed. If you bring it down to -64, you actually reverse the slice, and on trig 11 I did the same thing. I reversed it and I pitched it up +5, so when it gets to the 4th bar you'll hear that's different. So again, I'll solo this and you'll hear that 4th bar is different. So bar 1, 2, you see the bar sticking over here. Now listen to bar 4. Here it comes again. So in bar 4, this trig was reversed and this trig was reversed and pitched up. So it's beginning to sound a lot better, isn't it? And as you've heard, I've changed the panning with track 6 here. If I go to amp, you'll see the balance is -59, which means it's over on the left speaker. And if I go to the track 5 where the full loop is, if I just bring that in as well, come off this. Now that is +41, so that's over on the right. I can make that even further over by rotating the E encoder. I then did a similar thing with the drums. So track 1, track 2, track 3, you can see they're over on the left, not an even amount, but they're over on the left. So the kick drum and the snare drum and the ride that I recorded, the slices, they're over on the left. The main loop here is +43. So here's the whole thing that we have so far. So thank goodness I managed to rescue it, and I'm very grateful to my friends at Elektron Octatrack. This is the forum for all things Elektron. Everything to do with Elektron is dealt with in that forum. All the boxes that Elektron make, the Digitat, the Digitone 1 and 2, the Octatrack 1 and 2, the Rhythm, the Analog 4. I don't know them all, but it's all dealt with on there, and the people on there are incredibly friendly and incredibly helpful, and I never would have sorted out this sample rate problem had it not been for them. So thank you so much to them for their help. Right, so I think we can now move on and do a bit more to our project. So the next thing we're going to do is to load in another sample. Now at the moment track 7 is free, there's nothing assigned to it, so I'm going to load in a Tabla sample. And if you don't know what Tabla is, it's kind of an Indian drum. So if I double tap T7 and I need to use slot 3 like this. Right, so this is the folder that I want. So this is the loop. I'm going to hold function and yes. It's a 2-bar pattern. So that's really good. So I'm going to say yes. Now that's in there, in that slot 3. And if I just say no, you'll still see here that I haven't quite got my head around this yet, but it's not assigned to this track yet. So I need to come up. So yes, it defaults to 7, see, because it's track 7 for some reason. So it's probably too clever for its own good, or I'm too stupid for my own good. But anyway, I'll say yes. Now you'll see that sample is in there. Now I'm going to have to time stretch it. If we look at it, we can see the original tempo is 80 and our tempo is 95. So I'm going to press AED. Right, the time stretch is on, so it should play okay. And the other thing, of course, I need to do is to put a trig at the beginning of bar 1. Now, does it work? Right, we heard the first 2 bars, but didn't hear bars 3 and 4 because it's only a 2-bar loop. So I need to go to bar 3, push in another trig. Now it should play twice through. Sounding good, isn't it? Now I'm going to go to amp. I'm going to turn the AED off. Right, so I'm going to bring the balance over, the panning over, so we'll hear the tabla more in the right speaker. That sounds nice, I'm happy with that. I'm going to press function and project because I want to save this. Yes, it's just a quick save, not saving it to a new name, just overwriting the old one. Now we're going to lose the ride track on track 3 because I've run out of tracks. I can't use track 8, remember, because that's a master track. I never particularly liked that ride, remember, it was a bit of a strange choked off sound. So I'm going to erase the ride symbol from track 3 and I'm going to bring a bass sample in. Let's go to track 3, double tap it. I'm going to come over to the left arrow and change this to a static machine. Static machine, yes. Now, does that change the playback? Let's find out. It does change it because it looks for the sample that's in the 3rd slot of the static machines, which is the Rhodes. So now this track is playing the Rhodes sound, whereas it had the ride sound before. So anyway, I'm going to erase the trigs. So I've got to be careful here, of course. I'm on track 3. And make sure the record light is on, which it is. I hold function and clear, and this should erase all the trigs in track 3. Clear track trigs. Now, there's nothing in that track at all, but I've got to get the right sound for it. So I'm going to double tap T3. I'm going to come down to sample slot 4 for the static machines, come over and back, and I need to find the electronic sounds folder. Down here, the first polyam folder, sample packs, bass, it's this one here. That's the one, so I say yes. Right, you can see it's in the display there. So now, if I go to chromatic with this trigs mode, so function and up, chromatic, I've got the bass sound there, I can play the notes. Let's just do a bit of rehearsing. The only thing you've got to be careful of soloing is that you forget you solo things and you wonder why things aren't working. So hold Q. Now it's all working. So I'm going to practice. going to play something like that. Right, I'm going to press stop button to make sure I'm back at the beginning. Going to hold function and mix to turn the metronome on. Going to hold the record button down and then press play. Here we go. And now I've got it. Just remember to turn the metronome off, which I forgot to do last time. Sounds great, doesn't it? Let's save it. Because there's no undos. If things go wrong, you've got problems, because if you haven't saved it, you won't be able to get it back to the way you wanted it. Right, so finally I can get to the freeze delay function, which I've been dying to show you. Now, track 8 is what we need for this. Now I need to press function and up, and I need to come down actually to delay control, which means these trigs will act to control the delay. Now on track 8 I've got to press FX2, which is the delay. I've got to make sure it's all working. It is turned up. I've got the time up, the send up, that's good. And over on the other page I've got to make sure the sync is on, the lock is on, and the tape is off. That's good. Now does this work as it is? Then we just go over that again, make sure you've got that. So there's the FX2 for the master track. You can see that the time is set at 64, the feedback's full on, the volume is full on, the send is full on. The bass and the width, as I've shown you in previous videos, that's the kind of tone, the kind of filters, low pass and high pass filters. You want to do this when it's not running, because you get a bit of a funny analog change of pitch sound. Let's set it to 32. Now the reason I'm pressing 16 is because that corresponds to 8. See, track 8 for the freeze delay. So this would be track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6, track 7, and 16 is 8. Now let's change the time down to 16, see what happens. So basically when you press the button, you're recording the sound into the delay buffer and instantly playing it back. Now these trigs over here play their part as well. You need to practice doing it. It's a bit of a knack. Now this time I'm going to set it going and I'm going to press 5 and then 16. Try some others. As you move progressively to the left, the repeats get faster and faster. 1 is really, really fast. It's like a very, very fast re-triggering. Let's do a bit more of that, so it's quite fun, isn't it? Timing is everything here. Crucial to count while you're doing this so you don't lose sight of where you are. You can bring the volume down of the delay. So if I bring this down to about 100, you'll see what happens. You can hear the delays in the background, but you can hear the main beat carrying on. It depends on your preference. I'll turn it up so we can hear it really clearly at the moment. Now over on the page you can see that this is on the second light, which is kind of standard 4/4. If I press the page button again and it moves to the third light, now we get kind of triplet delays. Bring the timing right down to 8. See what that's like. It's fun, isn't it? It's really good fun to do this. Very addictive. Three, 4. So that's what I meant about counting. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and out. You have got to press the trig over on the left and 16, otherwise it won't work. If you just press one of these trigs without pressing 16, you're not engaging the freeze delay. That is on track 8. So I'm not exactly an expert at it yet, but you get the general drift. And it's great fun, isn't it? Make sure that the tape is off, because if it's on and you press these trigs on the left, you'll see what happens. You get kind of a tape effect. Maybe what you want, I don't know, but I find it's a bit too wacky for me. With the lock on, it means that the delay buffer is frozen, or locked if you like, and this creates an echo that will never stop until we release the buttons. I don't think that this delay control page is saved with the project, because I brought this project back in before, having saved it, and it wasn't on delay control, so you might have to manually bring that into focus once you've loaded the track back in. So you set the delay time low for fast repeats and high for slow repeats, and if you want musical effects, set the times to 64 or 32 or 16 or 8. Right, so I've got the freeze delay set up on track 8. Can I put it on other tracks? And the answer is yes, I can. So let's set up a freeze delay on the kick drum, shall we? So we'll bring track 1 into focus, and what I'll need to do now is to set up the delay. So there's the delay. I need to turn the send up, the feedback up. We'll put the time on 32, shall we? And I should be able to get the effect by pressing 9, which is for track 1. Let's listen to the kick drum. Oh, that's locked on. Ah, no, I know what I've done. I had the lock off, you see, so it was just sounding the whole time. Now, there we go, see? Hear it coming in? Let's change the time. Put it on a triplety fill. I'm not very good at it, as you can hear, but you get the idea. It's all about timing, getting that recording, if you like, of what you're playing into the buffer so that it plays back perfectly in time. So practice makes perfect with that. Obviously keep the pads down as long as you want the freeze effect to last for. This page button toggles between the two settings, the sort of basic 4/4 and the kind of triplet feel. Anyway, you get the idea, and I'm sure with some practice I'll get better at this. I've normally got a very good sense of timing, but I think it's a matter of maybe just pressing the trig pads just slightly ahead so that you get the beginning of the sample recorded into the buffer, something like that. But anyway, at least I've shown you how to set it up, and you can have your own fun with it. So there we are, that is the end of video 5, and it went much better than video 4 did. I didn't run into any major problems today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. So thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.